Hello and welcome to Hidden Magic Tarot. I'm Nancy, and this video is part of my deck collection in 2026 series. I'm sharing my tarot, my oracle, my Lenormand, and my playing cards. This video will have all of my playing card decks, both from large publishing, printing houses, and small. If they are still available, I will try to find a link to these decks and I'll put them in the description. For full disclosure, I am primarily a tarot reader, but I also love card games and I love to shuffle cards. So when I'm sitting in a Zoom meeting and my microphone is off, I'll just use cards as a fidget. But I've also gotten into trying to learn playing card divination. So I do use these as answers for yes/no questions sometimes. And I do use them in spells and altars. And the art on playing cards is fantastic. I've had so much fun collecting these. So let's get started. Let's start with just your plain old bicycle standard cards. I bought this one fresh so I could take notes on it. And this was back when I was trying to learn playing card divination, but honest to goodness, I'm not sure this is really for me. I am not really into fortune telling aspects. I really use my cards as like personal development, empowerment, new perspectives. And so a lot of the messages, like a lot of the meanings on playing cards are much more about, more like fortune telling, like traditional divination. And I'm just not sure that's really for me. So I put this together, and of course there's so many different systems of what they could mean. So I put it together and it'll be fun to use if I ever get into it, but it mostly just sits on my shelf right now. That's the standard bicycle playing cards. Let's look at two more sort of standard playing cards. These are Spanish playing cards. This deck was printed by Fournier, which you probably know if you read tarot. This is the sort of biggest, most popular deck printing company in Spain. They make wonderful decks, really high quality. And these are just typical Spanish playing cards. So they've got the suits you would recognize if you read tarot. They've got coins, wands, cups, and swords. They are numbered here. The courts are numbered instead of titles. They're probably in a layout you would recognize on some tarot decks as well. They don't have, gosh, I need to double check this, but I don't think they have a number 10 that's like pips, right? Because 10 is their page. There are fewer cards in a Spanish deck, but I love having this. It's such a sort of historical connection with tarot. This is just sort of a standard deck of playing cards. Yeah, there's your knight. And then let me see, there's another knight. And then the king. Are there queens? I don't think there are. So I think the courts in Spanish playing cards, you go, is it 2 to 10, ace to 10, eights to 9, and then page, knight, and king. I think that's how it works. So, okay. And then this one is just a different brand. I wanted to have a different brand. I think these ones were possibly printed in Mexico, but it's pretty much, it's the same deck, slightly different colors, slightly different faces, different poses, but it's the same main deck, the same suits. As you can see. Lovely, lovely. So these are Spanish playing cards. Here's another deck that is not a full custom deck. It just has beautiful cardstock and a beautiful tuck box. This is the Hudson playing cards. This is from Theory 11. They're a very well-known playing card producer, printing shop. But, this is a typical kind of English style suits, which is what is typically played with in the United States, like if you go to casinos or something. So, typical suits you're used to, typical layout. It's not custom. It's just beautiful. It just has gorgeous backs. So this is easy to read, high quality cardstock, gorgeous ace. Always the ace of spades is always highly decorated in these. But the inside of the deck is pretty plain, recolored. I think that's a lovely, lovely color, like the gold. If you can see, it's maybe more bronze. little bit shiny, but very high quality deck, but it's not, you know, custom art. So I did get this for myself a long time ago just because I wanted a good shuffle. And then I got into full custom cards, and that is what I will show you next. Again, that's the Hudson playing cards. This is the Forbidden Forest, and this is one of my favorite decks. Very pretty tuck box, and the cards are phenomenal. The gilding, the hollow on the back, I don't know if I can show you, but if you hold it one way, it shines like you think it's pink, and if you hold it another way, it looks orange. Oh, it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And these are our jokers, and then we've got a sort of key to who these like legendary creatures are, and they're from, as far as I know, all over the world. It's an illustrated collection of mythological creatures from the tales of South Asia. So no, not all over the world, specifically South Asia. And it does have a key here. And these are amazing. Also wonderful cardstock. Oh, I should show you the full backs. I think I wasn't showing the full. And I really like cards that have custom pips as well, because the courts are often custom in playing cards, but the pips are often not. And so if it's not custom pips, I generally don't buy it anymore. So this I love, you know, they're obviously clubs, but you can see they're slightly different shape. It's a different font than what you're used to. And I love this gradient where the center club is a lighter green. Here's our Queen of Diamonds and our King. Look at this little bird. It's so cute. So diamonds here, same thing. It's this kind of gradient where it's lighter to the center. And they're a different shape diamond as well. So even just a different shape diamond, then I'm all in. I'd be interested in that deck. So that's one of the things I look for, is just that, is it full custom throughout? I don't need it an illustrated pip, but I do like it to be custom. Let me see if I can get to another court card here to show you this amazing art. And let's shuffle through. There's a beautiful ace, Jack of Spades. Here's our Queen of Hearts and our Queen of Spades. I love the colors. This is just a fabulous deck, and it's an amazing shuffle. If you see this out and about, I highly recommend grabbing it because it's gorgeous. There's another gorgeous ace. The aces are all beautiful in this deck as well. Here we've got another court. Okay, that's that. And that again is Forbidden Forest. You can see it there. This is Transition, and this is such a cool deck. Also really nice cardstock, which I appreciate. Here's our jokers and a couple art cards. Those fit together. I really like the pips on this. So there's our diamonds and our clubs and our spades. Let me see if I can get to a heart here. There's a heart. I just really love this intricate design work in the inside. There's our gorgeous ace of clubs, and here's the art style on the courts. Just really, really beautiful. There's another beautiful ace. I'll just flip you through and show you a few of the courts. I'm not going to show you all of them. We don't need to look at every single card. I love that one. And here's a king. Let's find one more ace for you. Gorgeous, gorgeous ace. These are really beautiful. Oh, that's the backs. I don't think I showed you the backs. These are really, really beautiful cards. And again, this is the Transition deck. This deck is called Entropia. Look at this box. Oh, it's so beautiful. Also, I should just say, you're going to hear me say this over and over again. These are just beautiful. They're so beautiful. Look at these backs. They are shiny as can be. A very interesting cardstock, very interesting to shuffle. These are maybe extra cards, maybe considered jokers. I'm not really sure. But these are really custom. You can see how shiny that is. So there's a spades. Here's a clubs. You can see the shape of the club is really different than what I'm used to looking at. The font is different. Here's a jack. It's our Jack of Hearts. Let me find, oh, here's our Queen of Clubs. I really appreciate, here, let me lay these out. So we've got a heart there, a club there, a diamond there, Queen of Hearts. You see, they're so shiny. And then here's our spade. So one of the things I also like is that the cards are colored. The pips are not red and black, but the cards, the backgrounds are red and kind of this icy blue. So the cards themselves have a different background, even though the actual pips are blue. Find you an ace. Let's find you just a couple more court cards. Here's our queen of spades. Here's our king of diamonds. That's hard. It's so shiny. I'm trying to get it so you can see it better. And there's one more. We'll show you our jack of. Again, this is called Entropia. This is the Pagan playing cards by EDSA. Here's our jokers. I love the vintage look of these. I love the shape of the pips, the gradient of the pips. It's so beautiful. EDSA does the best job. Oh, I should show you the backs. EDSA just puts together gorgeous, gorgeous decks. They do oracles, they do playing cards, they do tarot, and they're fantastic. Love this shape of the diamond. I also like how big the pips are on the card and how big the numbers are. It's really cool. There's our king of hearts. Gorgeous spades, just really beautifully done. Love this jack. And of course it's EDSA, so the cardstock is wonderful. Most of these custom cards are going to have really nice cardstock. They're going to be a really good shuffle. That is so pretty. Love the shape of that club. There's another jack. Let's find some more courts for you. Maybe find you a couple aces. Really beautiful. I like how, I don't know if you can tell very clearly, but it's like they're on sort of worn paper. It's like distressed looking. There's an ace. It's a beautiful, beautiful set of cards. And let's see if we can find you one more ace. There's another one. Again, this is the Pagan playing cards by EDSA. This is Bird in Hand, and it is Birds of North America. I really enjoy birding. I go with a family member who is really obsessed. This is a wonderful deck, and I think the choices of the birds is really good. For our jokers, we have a mockingbird and a magpie, which is so darn clever. So each card has a bird on it. I love the style of these drawings. These are fully, so the pips are fully illustrated. You're not seeing, regular pips. And they each have the name of the bird on it. So if you want to learn more about that bird, you can. I just think these drawings are gorgeous. The style of the art is really pretty. It sort of reminds me of like American traditional tattoo. And I love that the peregrine falcon is in flight. It's just very kind of respectful of what that bird is all about in my mind. And they're from all different regions. Like that's a roadrunner, cedar waxwing. So some of these birds are like not very common where I am, but they are, all around North America. I think it's very cleverly done, really, really smart. The art is gorgeous. So if you are a birding person, or if you have backyard feeders and you really enjoy birds, I think this deck is just really well done. Just absolutely delicious. Here's, oh good, we got a bunch of courts all in a row. But so as you can see, there's no just pip cards in this one. Full custom. All of them are illustrated, all with a different bird. As far as I can tell, there are no repeats. And there's the beautiful backs, and it's called Bird in Hand. This is Pack of Dogs, and it is the only playing card deck that I have never shuffled, and I will never shuffle this deck, actually. This deck is a story, and so it's really just like it's just a work of art, I'm going to tell you right now. There's the backs, and we're going to go through the story of the aces here. So he's dug one hole, now he's digging his second hole, and he just tours along the diamonds, digging these holes until he finds his bone. And then for the courts, we've got dogs like in scenes. And I love the art on this. I think it's really fun, like this sort of almost sketchy pieces, kind of along with very intricate stuff. I think this art style is beautiful. I love the black and white and red. So here we have our story of the hearts. He's pulling his blanket out of his bed or out of this basket. And as he pulls it out, more hearts appear as the blanket gets longer. He keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling until he gets underneath his blanket. Then here's our cords. It says Fifi, his tattoo. I really like these dogs just in these scenes. It's really cute. Okay, so here are the spades. His ear goes up. His second ear goes up. And then there's a new dog. So we've got 4 spades, 5 spades, 6. And here comes a new dog with his little snout, his little spade. And then here his ears go up until you see the spot on his bottom. Okay, and then here's our quartz. Okay, and then here's the story of the clubs. You can see one club here. As he's walking across, he's leaving muddy paw prints, and each of his paw prints is the club. So yes, I know you could play with these, but I like them too much in the story. Until there, he found himself a place to rest after he's tracked all that mud everywhere. So I honestly can't speak to the quality of the cardstock, I'm going to be honest, because I've never shuffled them. It feels nice though. And there's our jokers. Okay, again, this is Pack of Dogs. Let's look at a couple of bicycle decks. This is the Fae and this is Mythical Creatures. Okay, this is the Fae. There's the backs. And there's our jokers. So again, these are pretty custom. I love this font. I love the shape of the clubs. That's a beautiful ace. And then I love this kind of inset on the clubs. They all have that. This is really, going for sort of a Celtic look, I think. Sort of a folk tale type of art, but it's, I think, trying to evoke the idea of like the British Isles in the pips and in the style. So let me get in, look at a couple more court cards. And I don't know if it's evident in the video, but this is another one where the back is just sort of looks like distressed paper. Oh yeah, there's a beautiful spade. I don't know if we'd seen one of those yet. And let me find you another ace. Here, there's our ace of spades, which usually has the name of the company on it. And there's another ace. Oh, I can see that I'm displaying this 2 upside down. Okay, and again, that is the Fae. This is Mythical Creatures. Another beautiful deck. Gorgeous backs. Let me find those jokers. Okay, here's our jokers. Starting off strong with an ace right away. I really like how they've got these insets in the pips. I think it's gorgeous. Like I said before, I want a full custom deck. If I'm going to spend money, if I'm going to enjoy a playing card deck, I want it to be full custom. It's just really fun. Gives me a lot of joy to look through them, to shuffle them, to play games with them. They're really fun. Now, some of these full custom decks are easier to play games with than others. Sometimes they go so custom on the pips that it's like hard to tell what they are. So those ones I don't play games with them, but I still like having them and shuffling with them and looking at them. I love having a little art gallery in my hands. There's another, we'll just look at one more. And then let me find you one more ace. Mythical Creatures. These are 2 colorways of the same pomegranate deck. Pomegranates are a really personal symbol for me, and so I couldn't believe it when I found these. This is a fun box. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like the seeds are kind of lifted up. And then on the back, we have like stickers, like they are actually food. And I'll open up both of them because they're just slightly, there's like the red one and the kind of cream colored one, but they are otherwise the same. So you saw the backs. So this is the like lighter colored one. And then this is the, oh yeah, the jokers are seeds and like the drip. And I think inside the deck, they are the same. And you can see they've got little like drips of pomegranate juice throughout. The pips are not very custom. These are this shape. They're the font. They're like, they are expected things, but like here's the ace. Oh, and I should be clear, this is the Palmegranates, right? So like palming cards, so Palmegranate, that's the name. And then when you look at the quartz, like she has a maybe a dessert with some pomegranate seeds on the top, but throughout they've got the juice. And then the suits are colored kind of this cream color, right? Like the pith of the pomegranate, and then a deep, deep red. So not, I mean, I guess it is custom because it's different colors, but the shapes, you'll recognize these if you're used to playing with regular standard cards. Here's our king. He's holding a branch with pomegranates on it. And his scepter, oh, it's actually a little tree. It's in a sack. And then he's got, I think, a scepter here or whatever that's also shaped like a pomegranate. He's drinking pomegranate juice. Anyway, you get the idea. I love these. Pomegranates mean a lot to me, and I really enjoy having these in my collection. Okay, I don't know if you can see here. This is the Palmegranate playing cards. We'll finish up the collection here with my Oddfellows decks from Stockholm 17. If you're into playing cards, if this seems fun to you, keep an eye on Stockholm. They make amazing decks. This is Captain Spindel Weber, which is part of the Oddfellows. And look at this amazing box. Watch this. That card fits in these cutouts, okay? So these all like tell a story. This is Captain Spindel Weber. These are the backs. And is that another Joker? Yeah, and then there's always like a double-sided card in there. So it's like they all exist in a world. And these are really cool. Of course, I love just the full custom, but if you look on the inside of each of these pips, they all have like their own little icon. And I don't know if there's rhyme or reason to them, but it just is fun to look at. And the quartz are unbelievable. So this guy is kind of like a steampunk deck. And I really, 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 really love it with all these. I can't get over this amazing style, the color, how the pips are. I can't get enough of these Oddfellows decks. As you can see, I've got 3 and I'm trying to keep my eye on more. I think they usually come out as Kickstarters if you're interested in these, and then they do stock them in their shop, but they're so good. Okay, so that is the Spindel Weber. This is also an Oddfellows deck. This is Madame Laveau. And I also love this box. Gosh, it might be hard to see, but this is sort of like a mirrored or transparent. So it looks like she's looking into her crystal ball. And then when I take this out, it's another deck that's got these cutouts. So when you take it out, the eyeballs line up. And these are the backs. Really shiny, really, really shiny. Here's our Jokers. And this is all based on Madame Laveau, the New Orleans legend. Here are some, I think, a guide to some of the symbols you're going to see in the deck and a little bit of history about it. Amazing. Some edges. And then here's inside the deck. Look at that. Just so cool. I don't know if you can see too, it's like there's writing on the back of this, and then the pips are sort of almost like they're stamped on a piece of paper that was already written on. The quartz are just tremendously good. The colors, I can't stand it. They're so good. These decks, the care that goes into these. Oh, here's our ace of spades. Let me find you another quart. I don't know that I've ever played a game with these, but I love shuffling these. Really tremendous cardstock. And I just, like I said, I just take them out and I look at them. I think they're so good. So yeah, this is based on the, Madame Laveau, her legends, the myth that she's been built up to be, and paying homage to her and the work she did. Again, so this is also an Oddfellows deck, and this is the Madame Laveau. Okay, and my third Oddfellows deck is Penguin Magic, and I think this is the Dude. And this one also has these cutouts, but I can't figure out which card is supposed to go there to make it, you know, look cool. So maybe I should go look at a picture online. Oh, bright orange inside on the tuck box. Here's our jokers. So very similar to their other decks where there's these little icons on the inside. But again, I have not bothered to look up and see if they mean anything. And then you also see it's not like black and red. It's this dark blue and lighter blue for the suits. But I really enjoy how much there is to look at in these decks. I love the kind of story of them. I think they do a wonderful, wonderful job, and I will most likely be collecting more. So I recognize some of these, you know, quartz that's just like a different colorway, I think. Slightly different story being told. But I really want to build up more of a collection of these Oddfellows decks because I think they're just splendid. I love them so much. I think these are very similar to my my first one I showed you, but different colors. Yeah, to the Spindel Weber. I think it's very similar, but it's a different colorway. So very cool. Again, that is the Dude from the Oddfellows. And that's it. That's all my playing cards. I'm also doing my tarot collection, my Oracle, my Lenormand, so stop by and see the other videos too.